saying, "Oh, it was sarcastic. It was a prank. He really didn't mean it. It was a joke." Because that's what I do. You know, if I'm in the cabinet with or with a bunch of FBI and DOJ officials, ha ha ha, maybe I'll wear a wire and go talk to the president about invoking the 25th Amendment and what he would do. Ha 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 ha. Does that sound like a joke in any universe?
Actually, in the New York Times piece, Rosenstein is specifically asked whether he's joking, and he says, no, he's deadly serious. What he is, Rob, is busted. That's what he is. The background of this is pretty clear. Rosenstein wrote the memo to the president telling him how and why to fire James Comey, the disgraced FBI director. But Weasel Rosenstein did not expect the president to make that memo public, therefore assuming that his friend Comey would never know that Rosenstein had backstabbed him. Now, of course, the world knows that. According to the New York Times, Rosenstein was angry and distraught, worried about his reputation. Dude, your reputation? You have no reputation other than as a criminal who seeks to cover up the misdeeds of the Obama Justice Department in the 2016 election. This needs to come to a head, Rob. Rosenstein, as you know, is the only individual with oversight on the out-of-control investigation by Robert Mueller, a speeding bullet that is still heading for Donald J. Trump.
And you have the New York Times article saying, oh, Rosenstein was disoriented in the days that Comey was fired, even though he wrote the memo to fire Comey and recommending it. So it's all, this whole article is filled with BS, but it really makes me wonder. And then you have CNN, Vox saying Trump just walked away from his controversial order to declassify Russian investigation information. First of all, none of the Republican Party, I played clips of Louis Gohmert and Devin Nunes all saying it's a great idea. We need transparency. Oh no, but that's controversial to have transparency. And he didn't even say that. All he said was he asked the inspector general to review the documents at an expedited basis. And then he says, in the end, I can always declassify. He said this in 2 tweets. If it proves necessary, speed is very important to me and everyone. So his final word was, in the end, I can declassify it if I want to. I'm only doing this to kind of be a nice guy. He needs to stop being a nice guy, though. He needs to just say, listen, I want it reviewed now. Do I need to come over there and get it? Hey, I'm going to come over there and take photos of it and tweet it out. Nobody could stop him. He has the ability to do this.
Well, and I'm sure he wants to look at the actual language that they wish to redact and see if it has anything to do with our foreign affairs or whether it has to do with domestic politics. I think we know the answer to that question. Meanwhile,
all the clips I've seen is they're saying, oh, no, these guys are covering their butts. They're trying to cover their butts. And this New York Times article is just another muddying the waters, throwing smoke in the air to try to get people off the real contents of this FISA memo and these texts. I can't wait to see these texts.
Meanwhile, former InfoWars Bureau Chief Jerry Corsi is right now, as we speak, in front of Robert Mueller's grand jury. Now, Corsi had an antecedent relationship with candidate Trump long before I met him in the beginning of 2015. He was talking to Trump, as far as I know, as early as 2011, met with him several times during 2016. Perhaps that is what the grand jury wishes to discuss with him. But sources also tell me that a number of the questions Corsi is being asked relate to, guess who? Alex Jones. This is really simple. If Jerry Corsi tells the truth to the grand jury, it would not only be exonerating for me, but he is in possession of no negative or information that would reflect badly on Alex Jones. I certainly hope, Rob, that he tells the truth.
And Corsi's been a guest here for many years. He's actually worked with us for a time, being up in D.C. And I remember we were in D.C. at our one of our gatherings that we had there at the Mayflower Hotel. He got up and said the last 2 years working with InfoWars have been the best 2 years of his life, just meeting all the people involved with us and really becoming part of the InfoWars family. So I don't see Corsi doing anything except telling the truth. And I mean, we don't have anything to worry about. We don't have anything to hide, except they just want to shut us up. They want to keep us from talking. I played last main segment in the last hour, the audio of PayPal basically taking away our service, Roger Stone. And when we get back, I want to get your reaction to that. But don't forget, They can silence us if you don't do your part, which is spread the links, spread the articles, hand share them if you have to, and go to InfoWarsStore.com where we have 25% off Survival Shield X2 for a limited time. Also 50% off Super Male, Super V Male Vitality. Those are the last runs of those two products, those three products actually. Also 40% off BioTrue Selenium. It works great with X2. You need to support the InfoWar or we won't be here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short message.
I'm disappointed in the Attorney General for many reasons, and you understand that.
The iceberg of evidence surrounding the fabrication of the Nothing Burger Russia investigation is coming into view, and the mates on this Titanic ship of fools are beginning to brace for the collision.
The president is allowed to declassify materials. He does have that authority. So how do you square that?
Well, the president has the authority to do a lot of things. Doesn't mean if he does it, it's the right thing to do, such as going to war, pushing a button that is going to launch missiles.
Nellie Orr, the wife of Justice Department official Bruce Orr, is refusing to appear before Congress for a closed-door hearing. Orr, who worked for Fusion GPS, the firm behind the Steele dossier, was scheduled to appear for interviews during a joint session with the House Judiciary and House Oversight and Government Reform Committees. But two congressional sources said that she is not cooperating with the requests and will have to be subpoenaed to compel her appearance. The sources also said that former FBI General Counsel James Baker is not cooperating with the committee's request for an interview.
It's only 20 pages. All you have to do is make a copy and send it out, put it on the internet. So there, at this point, I do not understand why this hasn't been declassified. The president said, declassify immediately, read actions.
Is there any national security concerns?
No, and we've heard this same story over and over again.
Looks like Devin Nunes and Bob Goodlatte, who runs the Judiciary Committee, they've reviewed the documents that the president is seeking to declassify, and they know that there's nothing there worth protecting in terms of protecting our national security. And the media who's complaining about the release of this information in this very scandal was happily reporting classified information that was rightly classified, and the release of which would harm national security and potentially harm citizens.
Wait, so you're saying that when journalists tell us that their job is to make sure we have less information, know less about what our government is doing, they're in on the scam themselves?
Not only that, they're aware of government officials who may have broken the law and leaking classified
So their allegiance is to bureaucrats and not their viewers or readers, is what you're saying.
That's right. You know, the president is, in his genius way, bypassing the media by releasing the documents in a lawful way to the American people, as opposed through the illegal leaks where classified information isn't protected. That's the traditional
So
Washington
very quick,
way.
since you've been doing this for so long, have you ever seen the media come out on the side of secrecy and against the public's right to know?
Well, in this case, they have.
The DOJ and the FBI are doing everything they can to slow the process to declassify the FISA documents to the point of stopping it in its tracks, redacting portions of the pages, rendering them mostly unreadable.
Well, every time we have seen something be unredacted, it wasn't about sources and methods. We want to protect those, but every time it has been self-serving to protect the people who have been violating federal regulations, violating protocol of the Justice Department, or violating the law. And so it's kind of calling wolf one too many times to be saying, gee, this is terrible. No, it's transparency, and the American people need to see just how bad the DOJ was weaponized and was utilized. And, you know, you hear people like Brennan and others, my word, the damage that man has done. And then Comey, for heaven's sakes, McCabe, Strzok, all these people, they need to have their day in court where they're on the other side of the courtroom than where they're used to. We know Brennan and some of the others had, you know, let's see, was it Brennan voted for communists? I did not know until last week. I saw an article from 2003 where Comey was bragging that, yeah, I was a communist until I became whatever I am now. I never heard that. Comey the communist. How about, who knew that? It was amazing.
The Democrats have long used FISA applications to not only generate a spy campaign on a presidential nominee, but also to spy on journalists. Town Hall reported the Obama Department of Justice has spied on journalists They tracked James Rosen, formerly of Fox News. They seized the phone records from Associated Press reporters. Now, the Knight First Amendment Institute at Columbia University and Freedom of the Press Foundation have released documents showing that in 2015, the Obama DOJ had secret rules to target journalists under FISA. Come hell or high water, the deep state's dirty little FISA secret will come out.
Be patient, be alert, and God bless you.
John Bound reporting.
You know, I wish the president would just do more videos on Twitter. Just go live on Twitter and talk to the people, especially about this FISA thing, because he says something to the inspector general and it gets turned into, oh, he's walking away. He's not doing it. You know, and I love these John Bound reports because he takes all the pieces that I've been talking about for the last 3 days and puts them all together in a nice 5-minute package. So be sure and get that report out. Guys, when you find the article, pull that up so I can tell people what the article name is. I believe it's still on the front page of InfoWars. But Roger, why is it that the Republicans, not all of them, but some of them, seem to want to see transparency, and yet it doesn't happen time after time again? We get stymied by this political bureaucratic red tape.
Well, because the truth is, the Republican leadership in both houses remains opposed to the presidency of Donald J. Trump. There's only a small band of free thinkers, Matt Gaetz, Trey Gowdy, Devin Nunes, Lee Selden, Mark Meadows, and a handful of others who've had the courage to pursue this fight. What's ironic, of course, is that Rosenstein proposes removing the president under Amendment 25 of the Constitution, the 25th Amendment, because he's not malleable, because he won't do as he's told. That is precisely their problem. Look,
he goes off script. They always say he goes off script. We give him a script and he doesn't talk the script. They hate that.
Because Donald Trump is not scriptable. Look, the only thing that's predictable about Donald Trump is that he's entirely unpredictable. He marches to his own drummer. He is his own man. He's not owned by anybody, not the big defense contractors, not Wall Street, no one. He answers to no one other than the American.
All right, this is pissing me off. As soon as I walk the fuck off, you do this. Now you've taken my damn, where's my damn, there it is. Well, it ain't let me do it. I've never seen this thing fuck with me so much.
Issues. That's the White House doctor. Then he tried to make him Surgeon General, and oh my God, it turned into let's destroy this guy's credibility. They love to destroy people, don't they, Roger?
Yeah, rough morning. They keep messing with my feed. Somebody's in there shutting it down, doing all kinds of crap.
An eccentric operating style. So did Theodore Roosevelt.
Pissing me off.
So did Abraham Lincoln. So did Dwight Eisenhower. He won't conform, and that's why.
Second, let me get chat back up. There we go.
All right, we'll be right back after this. We got Roger Stone for another couple segments. Don't forget, you got to support the InfoWars.
Haven't had my damn coffee yet.
InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWars.com.
Give me a hard time.
That's how you support us right now. Empty your PayPal account. Hashtag dump PayPal.
Welcome back to the War Room. I'm Roger Stone. Sitting in for my colleague Owen Schroyer is my other colleague, Rob Dew. Rob, I listened to that audio recording of the PayPal stooges executing the future of InfoWars, and I found it chilling. They are definitely making their move. It amazes me the extent to which a modest but incredibly effective news organization like InfoWars is such a threat to the deep state and to the two-party monopoly and their corporate sponsors that have a vested interest in silencing us and covering up the truth. Little old InfoWars is a thorn in the side of the American political establishment. That's why they have enacted an entire aggressive plan to shut us down. First, you have the bogus harassment lawsuits in which they put words in our mouths, words in the mouths of Alex Jones and others here, claiming that we said things that we never said and made assertions we never made. Then they file lawsuits with the purpose of generating negative headlines based on the false claims in those lawsuits. Then they take those headlines to the social media giants and say, this is why you should ban InfoWars and Alex Jones. It's insidious. It's a conspiracy, and it's an outrageous violation of our First Amendment rights. So you weren't kidding when you said the only way to help us, folks, is to go to the Infowars.com store now. We don't have any big corporate multinational sponsors. We rely solely and completely on individual info warriors' support for our product line and the great books, t-shirts, and other products available at the Infowars.com store. Now, among my personal favorites is my latest book, Stone's Rules, which is available at the Infowars.com store with a special offer. If you buy your copy of my new book, Stone's Rules, at the Infowars.com store, and you mail it to me with the receipt that shows that you purchased it at InfoWars, I will gladly personalize it, sign it, and mail it back to you at my own expense. Let's see if we can find that address. There you go. So buy Stone's Rules, my latest book, which is a road manual for victory, at the Infowars.com store, and then mail it to me at that address, P.O. Box 813450, 4429 Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, Florida. You might say I've gone Hollywood, Rob.
Exactly. And, people are already dumping PayPal. And let me tell you this is what you need to do. If you're going to clean out your PayPal account, spend it in our store, have the last line item in your PayPal transaction history be InfoWarsStore.com. And now I'm getting rid of you. Let's make a statement. Let's send a statement to these people, even if it's like $20. Just get rid of your PayPal account. There's plenty of other accounts out there. In fact, if you go to the hashtag dump PayPal, you can see other people are putting up different services you could use. But Bob Aris Keck said, my PayPal account is now officially closed, and they can all F off for banning InfoWars. I'll momentarily be blocking all their accounts as well. Done with PayPal says Giza Dog, PayPal balance 3 cents. And then other people are putting truth bombs in there. Soros recently invested $137 million in PayPal, and now they're banning conservatives. Hashtag mark of the beast, hashtag dump PayPal. So use that hashtag, communicate with people. Put on there that you're canceling your account. I'm going to be canceling my account. I got to get home. I got to move it around, move the money around. I'm done. I'm done with PayPal. I'm not going to support them anymore. I'm not supporting these tyrannical organizations, because if you keep supporting them, they'll think it's okay to keep banning people. And it's not going to stop with Alex Jones. Okay. You think that's how it is? Nope. We've seen it. They're going to keep moving on to the next conservative, and then to the next one, and then to the next one. Pretty soon, no one will get to have PayPal accounts unless they're Oliver Darcy or one of his minions. That's what's going to happen. Go ahead, Roger.
Well, I guess my advice simply would be to sue George Soros for tortious interference. I'm confident that in discovery, you could find communications between Soros's minions and PayPal, giving them the order to execute InfoWars and to cut off our ability to do payment process. In fact, those congressmen who urged Facebook and Twitter to ban us, they can also be sued for tortious interference. The war on Alex Jones is unlike anything I have seen in terms of its breadth. Think about this. Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube, and others, all banning him coincidentally on the same day. Twitter, taking a little longer, but then when Mr. Jones goes to Washington, goes right into the devil's den, right into the lion's den, as it were, to confront the people calling him a Russian spy, a lie, Well, they respond by banning Alex Jones on Twitter. They are
He literally touched a goblin, Marco Rubio. He tapped him on the shoulder, and the other goblin creatures freaked out. How do you dare you touch a goblin? Don't touch a goblin.
And he didn't turn to a pillar of salt is the amazing thing.
Exactly.
Alex Jones scares the bejesus out of the political establishment. You know why? Because he's fearless. That's why. Because he is indefatigable. That's why. Nobody works harder to bring you the truth than Alex Jones. And this effort to kneecap him only speaks to his effectiveness. They wouldn't be trying to shut InfoWars down if he wasn't having an effect on this entire debate. And I've always believed that the silencing of InfoWars is a precursor to their move on Donald Trump. We can see it unfolding before our very eyes, despite the fact that the president has created 3.2 million new jobs, despite the fact that we have almost 5% economic growth, despite the fact that wages are growing faster and broader than ever before, despite the fact that we have a record stock market, despite the fact that African American and Hispanic unemployment is at the lowest point ever since they began keeping those statistics, the deep state is committed to removing this president by any means necessary.
Good one. Thanks
but
for
before
stopping
we
in.
do that, we have to shut down the Paul Revere of this operation. That's Alex Jones.
It sure is. And they are doing their best to do that. That is why it's more important than ever that people spread the word to what we're doing, keep talking about us. They're not going to stop. It's going to be in another 2 weeks. Something else is going to ban us. And then somewhere else, they're trying to put us in the gulag. As Alex Jones stated today on the radio, we are in the gulag right now, the electronic gulag. They don't want us to talk. They don't want us to have a voice. They don't want you to have a voice at the end of the day. They want to silence you. So it's more important than ever to spread these links. Spread the links to the live videos. Spread the links to the app. Figure out a way. I know there's ways to sideload apps on this. And I've heard that people have put our app on services out there that allow you to sideload them. I'm not saying you should do that, but it can be done. When there's a will, there's a way. We're going to be coming up with a web app soon, just like what Gab AI did, where you can actually put the app and it's run through a browser and you can load it up on your iPhone still. So we're not going to be stopped. We're not going to stop fighting. We just need you to keep fighting with us. Keep spreading the links. Download the app on Google Play. Right now, you can get it for your Android phones. Just go to the InfoWars store, buy our products, give us positive ratings if you like them, because that's how people hear what we're doing, they see what we're doing, they feel the results, and then they spread the word. And that is really the way that you can help us out, because I'm not going to stop fighting. People, oh, you're going to leave. I get people try to troll me on Twitter like, oh, you're done now. Yeah, now you're off PayPal. You're done now. You've been kicked off Twitter. You're done now. You're not on YouTube. You think you're going to get Alex Jones off YouTube? Alex Jones is YouTube. There's never going to be a YouTube without Alex Jones. When they get rid of Alex Jones off YouTube completely, there will be no more YouTube. It'll be corporate tube, is what it's turning into. One more segment with Roger Stone. We'll be right back after this short break. I'm your host, Rob Dew. You can follow me on Twitter because I haven't been banned yet, at Dews News, DEWS. NEWZ, and don't forget, Infowars.com/show is the free stream to send out to everybody you know. We'll be right back after this.
Oh,
welcome back to the
War
Room.
Picking up over here now.
I'm your host, Rob Dew. Final segment with Roger Stone. I was perusing the hashtag dump PayPal a little more. More people are getting rid of their accounts. There's other payment services out there. It's time to start supporting them. You got to vote with your dollars in this day and age. You know, you really have to look at where you're spending your money. And are you going to save a couple cents and spend it on a giant multinational conglomerate who's out there trying to subvert your rights?